Good morning, everybody. It's another day in paradise in beautiful, sunny Las Vegas. And I think tonight is that big blue moon, and there won't be another one of those till 2037. So, might be a good idea to watch it. Watch out for it. Take some pictures, especially when you take the pictures with the palm trees in the in the front of it, and just think of all the neat ways you can take a picture of that moon and in Las Vegas. Um, just make sure my there we go. Okay, so Jimmy might be joining us. We shall see. But in the meantime, let's get on with the show. Now, home prices are not crashing. If I hear one more person on Twitter or YouTube or even Facebook saying that, it's not happening. The home prices are not crashing. Home sales are down. Yes, they are. And inventory is down, but home prices are not crashing. One of the other things that is down is the interest rate just went down. It was 7.49 and now it's 7.12, I believe. I mean, we may see that 7% land, which isn't that bad. I'd rather see it go that way, right, than that way. At the Tom Ferry Summit, he predicts that it's going to be 9. And in that, he said, and I repeat from yesterday or Monday, that we don't need as many real estate agents as we have. We have 10, not 10, maybe 8 times as many as we need, whatever the number is. He thinks we need 168 to 198,000, and we have 1.3 million. So whatever that multiplier is, if Jimmy were here, he would do it for me. But anyway, so yeah, we're doing 72 sales per day this month in Las Vegas, and that does not include Clark County as a whole. That figure actually does include Clark County. My other stats include the zip codes for which we sell our properties in, and we have 4,697 available high-rises, condos, single-family, and townhomes in my zip codes, in the Valley zip codes. That doesn't include Mesquite. That doesn't include Boulder City. So when you see some of these other stats, and Jimmy, I think we had our class yesterday, or Monday we had a class. Anyway, he was showing a stat that he got from a title company, and it was way off. I mean, our median price is $450,000, and it's clear as day in the MLS stats, and that's what I use as my Bible. I don't know where other people are getting their stats from, but I use the MLS because that's where we live, and I totally agree with their stats. And it kind of unnerved me a little bit because I really want to be accurate. So I looked at this, which is applied analysis. Again, they use the MLS stats to get their data. And right there it is. The end of July was 450. And that's where it is now. Now, it did inch up there a little bit for a few days at 454. But I think at the end of the first week of the month, sometimes it pops up a little bit. But then it gets to where it's more accurate as we go toward the middle of the month. And it is 450,000. I don't know where these people, it was like, one of the stats showed a median price of 500,000. Now, maybe that's the average price. I can believe that, but I do not believe that the median price of the sales are 450 now. If you look at this in July, it says the median price of the new listings was 475. Okay, we're almost at the end of August, everybody, and it is still hanging in there at 450. And I did my stats this morning to make sure that I'm repeating and you're repeating what I'm repeating, and we're giving accurate information because we don't want to be giving wrong information out there. And let me put myself back down here. So to date, this month to date, we have sold 2,092 homes, and that's where we get the 72 per day. I take 29 days and I divide it by that, and that's what you get. And that's the way we do the available homes and how many days of inventory. There's 65 days of inventory, and that has gone up a little bit. which is good. It was down in the 50s. Now it's back up to 65, which is 2 months. We can live with that. Really, it isn't that bad. And that's based on 72 sales per day. So yeah, I think when it was 50, because in July, let's see if I don't have it here. I don't have it here. In July, we were selling like 80 to mid 80s. But in August, we've slowed down a little bit. Yeah, we've slowed down. I talked to an agent this morning who was wondering what to do. Interest rates are going up. I said, no, they just came down. They did just come down, which is a good indication that the 10-year Treasury note came down as well. So that's what those two things usually go in tandem. When the Treasury note comes down, so does the interest rate. And again, I am not that type of an analyst, so I can't tell you all the backstory of why that occurs. So the investors, 21 sales year to date. That's 24% of our daily sales right now. And the $1 million homes, they're going strong. They really haven't changed that much as far as the number of sales per day. It ended up last year at 4.2. Right now we're at 3.9 daily sales. And that means we've sold 931 million plus homes this year. And that's a lot of commissions. One of the things that Tom Ferry was saying that this year, what they forecast is that there will be $98 billion worth of commissions paid to real estate agents in the United States and Canada. That is a lot of commissions, everybody. And I know everybody wants their piece of the pie. So list to last, right? We have to list to last. We have to build local connections. We have to do all those things. So anyway, that's the stats for today. Nothing too startling since Monday. Now, Friday will be interesting. Friday will be interesting because we will have ended August and we will have the August sales in by Friday. So we'll wrap up August, the month of August on Friday. Okay, let's see what else I had to show you today. I'm going to post this in the group. This is the annual housing summary. And one of the things that I think this is really a good tool for, let's see, if you go back to the median price in 2013, was $225,000. And look what happens over the years. 2014, it was $248,000. 2015, $270,000. 2016, $310,000. $365,000 in 2017. 2018 was $340,000. 2019 was $355,000. Yeah, that was just 3 years ago. And then in 2020, it was $395,000. In 2021, look at this. Look, 2021 jumped up. And why do you think that was? It was crazy. But look what happened. It went back down. In 2022, it ended up at 475, and now we're at 450. So the prices are not crashing. You know, these people that bought in 2021 and paid that high price, they may not be too happy. But that's really out of all these years, 10 years, you know, you've got one little hiccup there, and then it goes to 475 last year. I remember in July last year, it was pretty high, but it ended up, overall, it wasn't tremendously bad. And I say that because when you look at the different months, there were months where people, they paid under 450. So some people didn't though. So I like to look at the months as well as the years. And now we're at 450. But I mean, for all these years, you go up, 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 up. And now all the people that bought those homes with those great interest rates, they'll be in those homes that they bought in 2021 for $545,000 median price. Though, they had great interest rates. And so that boosted the prices up, of course. Because of all the multiple offers and everybody wanted to jump on that bandwagon. Those people probably are not going to sell their homes. They're probably not going to sell their homes. They have that 3% interest rate, some even under, and they're going to hold on. And guess what's going to happen? Over time, if they're in their house, the average homeowner stays in their home 13 years. In 13 years, just like we just showed you here, prices will go up. It's just inevitable. And that's why we always tell people, don't wait to buy real estate and wait, because no matter, and I've heard people not like that I say this. They don't like when people say, oh, you're renting the payment, but you're buying the house, you're buying the price. And right now you can buy a $450,000 home median price, and that price will go up. And then when the rates go down, which we anticipate they will, maybe it'll take 2 years. We don't know, but they will go back down again. I think they're predicting in the 5 and 6s, 5%, 6%. So they're going to be fine. They can refinance, and 1-2% makes a difference. Plus, they'll have some equity in their home as well. Anyway, it's don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. That's what we have to show people. And and the truth is that we did have a hiccup last year, or in 2021. That was an anomaly year. And in 2022, people paid $475. I really hope it doesn't go too quickly higher. We'll see. I'm afraid when the interest rates do go down, we are going to have a rush on housing, and that may increase the prices. Anyway, enough of that. Moving on out of our segment of the stats. Let's see, we had something really weird happen here at NAR. And I'm sure everybody's probably seen this, but I will repeat it for those people who you may want to share this with someone. But the president resigned based on his sexual harassment allegations. And the New York Times exposed this on August 26th. And they accused the NAR president of sexual harassment. 29 current and former employees were interviewed. And Janelle Brevett's case, the former NAR employee, filed a lawsuit against NAR, allegedly racial and sexual harassment by Parcell. The suit withdrawn after agreement. $107,000 was her severance package. And 19 women claimed sexual harassment. 16 claims involved him, Perel. And NAR's Jennifer Braun reported inappropriate actions by him. Roshani Sheth claimed harassment, then was fired for poor performance. Well, that could be a lawsuit right there, or a settlement as well. And then there were ignored complaints. People reported inappropriate behavior. That claim was ignored. Parcell, through his lawyer, denied the allegations. NAR CEO Bob Goldberg downplayed the organization's harassment issues, while NAR introduced guidelines to address conduct at events. And NAR is coming to Anaheim in, I think it's November. Was going to be here, but Las Vegas said, nope, we got the Formula One races, so we can't accommodate you at the type of prices that they wanted. And so they moved it to Anaheim. And then the culture at NAR, they're saying there's questions about the deep-rooted culture of silence and fear. And former NAR leaders stated that covering up wrongdoing is part of the culture. That's not good to hear. And concerns raised about NAR's commitment to a safe environment for all. And the outcome is the industry awaits responses and the next steps from NAR. But that doesn't speak well of our organization and the code of ethics, for heaven's sakes, and all the things that we stand for. It's not going to, I don't know the effect it's going to have on our industry, but I don't like it at all that this has happened, but it did. And so let's move on now to something else. Again, I guess Jimmy's not going to show up today, but he will be here Friday for sure. Well, so he says. Let me go back here. I want to just, here we go. So I think that if you're going to succeed in the next couple years, you are going to have to become a listing agent. And one of the things that Tom Ferry talked about was that coming up in October, there is going to be a decision about whether or not a seller can pay the buyer's commission. Tom Ferry is all in that it is going to become law that the seller cannot pay the buyer's commission. So you all have got to either switch from buyers and go on to listings, because eventually if you start farming now, it takes 6 to 8 months to mature a farm, to get the seeds planted, to get your farm nurtured, and to get them knowing who you are. I mean, I get postcards all the time in my house, but I get like one from one person, then I'll get another one from a different person, and another one, because people give up. They realize how expensive it is, and then they don't really have a good business plan or tactics and strategies to follow up with people. And in gated communities, it's especially difficult. But anyway, I don't see a lot of consistency. I do see one or two people who are being consistent. The one person has been here for a long time. I think he's been here as long as we have in this community, 20 some years. And he does quite well, but he works it. I mean, he's walking the streets. He's talking to people. He's going to the clubhouse. He really has created his own community within the community. And I think I think that's Ross. And he and his daughter have a pretty good thing going on here. But it's because of consistency. And that's what Tom Ferry said. The most important thing in any endeavor is consistency. You can't watch people do push-ups if you want some some abs. You got to go do them, right? And that's the same way with listing. If you're going to be a listing agent, you have got to boost your brand and your recognition, and you list to last. And market analysis is crucial in connecting. And there's so many little tips that we talk about. When a listing goes up in a neighborhood that you just started farming, guess what? You start communicating with the people on that street. You say, oh, did you see that 123 Red Street just went up on the market, and it went up on the market for $575,000. As soon as that status changes, I will let you know. Wouldn't you like to know? Well, yeah, they would like to know. And then but you do that enough. And I remember when I took a Dale Carnegie course in 1987, because I couldn't sell my way out of a paper bag, or so I thought. Anyway, we had to look in the mirror and we had to say no. We had to ask a question based on the industry we were in at the time. Of course, I was just getting into real estate. And so you look in the mirror and you say, hi, this is Ruthie. I would like to know if you're interested in knowing the value of your home. And they would say no, right? And you had to say that 80 times. Look in the mirror. And then in the morning or in the afternoon when we had the class, the instructor would say, okay, Ruthie, how many times did you say no to yourself? And I said 80. Because you have to get used to that. It's not the end of the world. You ask enough people, you're going to get some yeses. And you don't need that many yeses in this market to make a decent living. So you have to get used to that. And the most essential thing here is building rapport and building techniques to position you as somebody they trust. So when you're calling them and you're saying, hey, I see that your house, the house down the street just went on the market, and I'd love to, keep you posted on the activity and let you know when the status of that house changes, when somebody makes an offer on it, so on and so forth. Of course they want to know. This is their neighborhood. This is the biggest investment that they make. They want to know about it. So, you have to employ techniques. You have to establish rapport with potential clients and showcasing yourself as a competent, caring, and knowledgeable professional. And one of the things you can do is the CMA a day. We talked about that in one of my shows. Let's go on here. Let me hide this little baby here. Put myself down in the corner. Now, to succeed as a listing agent, let's just go over what these 7 tips are. And this came from Tom Toole. Tom Toole is a very successful real estate agent out of Pennsylvania. And I have known Tom for a long, long time. To succeed as a listing agent, well, market analysis is crucial. Connecting with clients is equally vital. Lose that connection and risk losing business. So here are essential rapport building techniques to position you as their trusted expert. You have to have a farm, everybody, and you have to plant the seeds, and you have to become trusted. So the local connection. So go beyond mere hobbies, connect with the local real estate market, mention recent local sales. We just talked about that. Share personal ties to the neighborhood. I always tell people, one of the best places for you to farm is your own neighborhood. And then you highlight your local real estate activities. And that could be you're holding an open house and you just want someone to know. Number 2, you ask questions. This is how you really build rapport, in my opinion. You understand their needs by probing. What qualities do they seek in an agent? What are their motivations for moving? Pre-qualifying clients shows professionalism and preparation and enhancing rapport. So one of the things that we teach in 100 Days to Greatness, the Brian Buffini's course, is that when you call somebody, you say, oh, I understand that you're interested in knowing the value of your home. Are you thinking about moving, in the next year or two? Give them a wide range. Look for the yes. Are you looking to maybe move in the next year or two? I see you've been in your house, 10, 12 years, which is the average time that a person is in their home. That's a good script. Because they're now all of a sudden you've given them a broad range and you've given them some information about their home, and you've also given them some information that's valuable to them. So, and oh, you are thinking of moving. Oh, you got a job change. Well, that's one of the major top 7 reasons why people sell their homes. Again, you're establishing yourself as a knowledgeable broker, the knowledge broker. You're the person who knows, that there's 7 different reasons why people sell their homes. And you're saying, where are you moving to? And then you start the conversation. You're asking questions about them, questions about their life, questions about their home, questions that are going to get them involved in a conversation. And, oh, you have dogs? I have dogs too. What kind do you have? And you start, and all of a sudden, they don't think this is a sales call, and it isn't. You're building rapport. You're creating a relationship, and that starts with asking questions. And then I always say, how good are your questions? So when I start talking about dogs and yards and, you're downsizing. Oh, so you want a single story home. Oh, and you're not moving out of the area. Well, that's nice. Yeah, this is such a beautiful place to live. And then you're giving them, when you say things like that, you're giving them validation. So all these things are tactics and strategies that have just got to roll off your tongue. And that comes from what? Practice. Yes, it's uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable with practice and action. And that's what you have to do. And of course, pay attention, listen actively, note personal details like family members' names, write them down, reasons for selling, and recall their motivations during negotiations. So like in our CRM with Agent Formula, we have the place for the notes, and it automatically timestamps it. And so you're writing these things down in your CRM because you're also going to remind yourself to get back in touch with this person. Okay. Now, be honest, distinguish yourself by providing all necessary facts and data. Avoid giving misleading price estimates without research, and act as their advisor. That's so important. Be an advisor and just say, you know what, I produce a newsletter once a month. Would you be interested in receiving it? Once a month. Yeah, they probably would do that. And that's the Las Vegas Market Watch that we produce at Agent Formula. And so you would say, oh, yeah. And so you get their email address now. You already have their phone number. We'll talk about that in a second. And so you're going to send that to them. When you hang up that phone, what you want to do is you want to get on your phone and you want to go to text and you want to give them a video thank you. Text them a video. Hi, George. This is Ruthie. I just so enjoyed our conversation, and I just wanted to say thank you. And I look forward to what does it say? Comment, great content. And I just want to say that I look forward to connecting with you again. So anyway, you say things like that in a little video. They see your face. They see that, you took the time to send them a video of you, a live video of you, and you texted it to them. Now it has to be short because you don't want to use up a lot of their data space on their phone. So anyway, and you can even say, and you can delete this when you're done because you don't want to, and you could give them a tip. You don't want to take up a lot of space on your phone. So anyway, and you can send them your text them your contact information. Now you're in their phone. So little things mean a lot. Now, number 5, take away information. So you leave the clients with detailed information. And of course, we said we're going to send you the newsletter. That's material that gives you a competitive edge because people like the numbers. And one of the things that, again, I'm going to refer a lot in the next couple months to Tom Ferry because Jimmy and I learned so many things. One of the things that is, we don't want to talk so much industry. We want to talk more local. We want to talk more about their home and their neighborhood and not so much. I mean, we can infer, like I say, oh yeah, well, across the valley, homes are holding steady on the price. And you can say things like that, but depending on the person, not everybody is a numbers person. Now I'm a numbers person. You give me numbers and I'm all over it. I do the sheet every day or every 3 days or 4 days a week. So I always know what's going on in the industry, and I'm always prepared to help agents understand what the trends are. And so it's important for you to be able to articulate that to your farm in a way that makes it more local and less pervasive industry talk. Number 6 is follow up. Oh my gosh. If there is anything that I just said in the beginning, most people, I get a postcard that I never hear from them again. They've never called me. They've never emailed me, nothing. And so follow up is huge. It shows a commitment by sticking to your promises. Yes, you're going to email them every month. And then you're going to have in your newsletter, you can have in your signature, click here to see my latest home selling tips, because you're going to click, listen here, you've got to do video. So they're going to click and go to the latest tip on home selling, because you're going to be creating selling tips, little videos, and they're going to be on YouTube. And now they're going to have that connection as well. They're going to see that you are the knowledge broker, not just with the market, not just with the neighborhood, but with the actual selling of a home and all the different things that they might want to consider as a seller. And then you can say, click here for the book on staging. Now you're giving them something of value. Do you see how all these things connect together? It's just not, throw postcards out and hope for the best. It's not, it's a little bit more work. It is work. And always do your research. Of course, we always talk about that. And I do a lot of that for you. Learning how to do the CMA correctly is important. And these are not difficult things. The problem is people don't do them consistently, and they don't follow up, and they don't do these things. So again, I got 2 more. I've got another minute and a half here. So anyway, if you're going to succeed in the next couple years in this market, please become a listing agent. Otherwise, we're going to probably go into some details to how you become a buyer's agent with conversation that shows your value to that buyer who may have to pay your commission. And are the buyer's agents going to take a hit? It depends. It depends on how you describe your value, how you articulate what you're going to do for that buyer, and how valuable you are in negotiations and the money that you're going to save them. Now, are you going to save them the amount of your commission? That's going to be the next question they say. Well, you want $12,000 on this $400,000 house that I want to buy, or you want $10,000 because you're going to settle for 2.5%. Okay, so you want $10,000. Are you going to save me $10,000 on the purchase of the house? I mean, that's what it's going to get down to. Your value has to be worth $10,000. So think about that. Where would you go and pay $10,000 when they know? And here's this, this is the age of the internet and ChatGPT and all these new AI tools that are coming out. It's not just going to be people like us that use them. It's going to be other people that use them to find out information as well. Anyway, people are going to find out, oh, I want a $400,000 house. I want a backyard. I want this. And they're going to put it out there, and the internet's going to give it to them. And then there's the selling agent or the listing agent. And guess who they're going to call? Well, I'll save $10,000 and call the listing agent, or it's worth $10,000 for me, the buyer, to do my own research and negotiate my own price. Those are the things that we have to figure out, how we're going to articulate our value and save them time and save them money. Can we save them $10,000 on a medium priced home? Maybe, maybe not. And as that price goes up, what do you think is going to happen, everybody? Do you think somebody's who wants a $700,000 home is going to pay you $21,000 or $15,000, $16,000? It's going to get to that point where your value may not be a percentage anymore. Your value may be a flat fee. So things to think about. That's why I like listings, right? We like listings. And now just think of this, kind of prepare yourself a little bit. I'm going a little bit over, I'm sorry, but kind of prepare yourself a little bit, because so if I'm going to go out and get listings and NAR and the DOJ come along and say, okay, the seller can't pay the buyer's agent anymore, I want to be the first person to tell the people that I have established rapport with. September and October rolls around. At least they've heard from me once or twice, hopefully, or maybe 3 times by the time the report comes out in mid to late October. So hopefully you get on the bandwagon and you get your farm and you start building rapport and you start communicating and you let them know what's going on in that neighborhood that you're farming. And if it's your own neighborhood, that's even better. I love you all. I will see you on Friday. Hopefully Jimmy will be here on Friday. He is having a boot camp for our office from 9 to 3. So maybe I'll be early on Friday, but I will do a show one way or the other. I love you all. Have a wonderful day and stay happy, optimistic, and positivity. Be positive, be optimistic, be happy. Love you all. Bye-bye.